Hey guys, what's up? This is Josh, just doing my weekly update on Sunday. It's Easter, and I figured I'd toss out this update before I headed to the families and get this all out of the way. So this is one of my tanks here that I have filled up. It's been raining here in the Midwest and Illinois like crazy, so all my tanks are like super full. Like I'm talking like up to the rim here. You can see how full these things are. So I put this grate over here just in case the fish decide to get a little gutsy and do some jumping. So I transplanted all my broccoli out here like I showed you before, and it's looking pretty pathetic. It's not doing so well. I might just pull it and say to heck with it and just start with seed with something, you know. And then I have this tank set up here, and it's I've been working on it today. I put a standpipe and I've got a bell siphon here that I'm going to try working with, and we'll kind of see how that goes. I have water just filling it up right now. I'm going to wait till I see it get to the top there, and then I'll put it on. I didn't use any PVC glue or anything like that, or any PVC cement, and there's the portion that's going to create the pressure. So hopefully it'll work. I might have time to show you that depending on how long this video takes. So I started this sucker up, this tank. It's got an air stone in it, and I tossed a couple tilapia in here and some goldfish. The water's like 60 degrees, so I'm not sure if they're going to survive. I tossed some tilapia in this tank here, and they did really well. They've been surviving just fine, eating food and swimming around. Hey, quit it. And I tossed some tilapia and some goldfish in here because I have like mosquito larvae just like wiggling around in here. I can see them like on the edges, so hopefully the goldfish and the tilapia will eat those, and that's the best thing that I can think of to do with that. So, and then this is my other tank that I had set up that you guys have seen. Ooh, we got a bee, and he flew away. The broccoli is surviving, I guess, and the onion is also surviving. It's not really thriving at all, but I'm not sure how well it's going to do, but we'll see. I had a tilapia in here, or a few tilapia, and I noticed that one of them was floating, so I had one die, unfortunately. And then I also saw one floating in here as well, in this tank. So I'm not sure whether or not this is going to be useful, because I can't really see the fish and see whether or not, because it could be stuck underneath here, you know, dead or something. I don't know. All I do know is that if all the fish do die in here, the dead fish will create ammonia and also fertilize the plants. So, win-win, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I've got these two barrels that I cut in half that I'm going to set on stands above this thing here, and then create a bell siphon type mechanism higher up that'll drain water into these two, so that I can kind of have two layers of filtration. The top one will have like a tote, a 18-gallon tote that I'll, over here, that green one right there. What I'll do is I'll put that on a stand. Here are the stands for the half-gallon, or the barrels, and I'll just have the 18-gallon tote sit a little bit higher up, you know, like right here, and then have the bell siphon drain into the tanks and then drain down into the reservoir. So that'll be, you know, my test for that. This is my potato barrel, and they are doing super well. I've been filling it with dirt like every couple days because they just keep growing every couple days. So hopefully I'll, you know, be able to keep. It's kind of tough to fill it too without like burying it. So I don't know whether or not it matters if some of the leaves bury, if it'll like grow up above it or whatnot, but it's kind of tough to get the dirt in here without like burying it. So maybe you guys have some better ideas. These are my plants, my tomato plants here that have been kind of waterlogged with the rain that we've been having, but they're surviving. I got like 5-gallon buckets everywhere for water. And my garlic here that I brought outside from inside is survived. It's like, it's still growing like crazy now, which is surprisingly, because all the rest of the garlic that I had died. And I have 2 tomato plants just chilling there. I have pepper plants, the ones that I brought in from outside. Hopefully, maybe the bees can do something with this. I've got a lot of sprouts on here, but I don't have any peppers at all. So yeah, like I said, hopefully the bees will be able to do something with it and, you know, give me a hand or something. I moved one of the watermelon plants out here and it's not really doing so hot. It broke somehow. It might have broken in one of the storms that we had. I got my basil doing really well, obviously. Oh, it needs a little water. It looks a little dry. But the basil does really well, regardless of where it's at, so. And then let me see here. I can go in and show you some stuff inside. I moved a lot of stuff outside just because I like to make use of the sun when it's around, and that's getting close. We've got time. So, oh, and I got two 55-gallon aquariums here that I'm going to be putting in place of that green container that I had as an aquaponics setup. I built a shelf, and here's part of the shelving units that I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to have two levels that'll hold the fish tanks. Then I might have a level above it where I have like a little grow bed for like lettuce, just to have some extra filtration. So it's going to get pretty crazy here once I have more tanks set up. And then, let's see here, we've got these plants. I've got some flowers coming in on this tomato plant here. You can see it right there. And I've got some other microtoms. Got a microtom there. And then these are other tomato plants that I started in here that I'll move outside. My basil plant I'll probably move outside too because it's kind of looking pathetic. But we'll see. And here's where I cleaned everything up. I moved that tank, or the rack out of here, and the tank and everything. This is where I'm going to put my 55-gallon tanks, and they'll sit above each other. And then at a higher level, I'll micro some lettuce or something. But there's Buchalokia pepper, and I planted some watermelon in here just temporarily until it gets large enough, and then maybe I'll try and transplant it. We've got carrots everywhere, man. It's crazy. I've thinned them out too. And then I've got another Buchalokia pepper plant, some watermelon. There's another watermelon sprout right there. I've got them just spread out just because I didn't have a place for them just yet. I'll probably put these outside in that one tank that I'm filling up right now and see if they'll survive out there. And then I should probably show you these over here. Here, hydroponic tomatoes. I'm going to move these outside too and put the toads outside as well, and just grow them outside so I don't have to use electricity on light. I figure it's best to utilize that as much as I can. Here's a lot of starts from my garden. I can show you my garden here pretty soon too. And I've got more starts for tomato plants and some basil, and I already moved the watermelon and cantaloupe out. I got lettuce growing here. I actually cut this lettuce off, chop it up, and feed it to my tilapia. There's tomatoes growing on here on my microtoms, and then my grape plant is doing pretty well. And then my green beans still, not looking so hot. I'll move these outside in another hydroponic container somewhere. I'm not going to probably won't use 5-gallon buckets anymore because it just sucks, but I'll move them outside and try to see if I can't get any more life out of them. And then here are my fish. You can see some of them in there. I pulled maybe 15 of them out, and I put them in the tanks outside just because they're getting big, and I wanted to kind of spread them out. See, look. There's a big one. It's a little dark, but I don't have any lights for them. Other than that, my setup is doing pretty well inside. I gotta go check the bell siphon and see if we can't get that kicked on. I don't really have enough time for it, but. And I ordered some gravel here from the local landscaping company, so I should be able to fill these containers with it. Maybe I'll do another bell siphon video after this. So I've got, I can show you my garden. I've got like 20 seconds left. I tilled this a couple times, and it's 2,000 square feet of my dirt garden, is what I like to call it. And it's right out there. And then I set up my trellis system for my, oh, I gotta go, guys, sorry. I'll do another video.